Let's talk about Project Epoch or Project Epoch, whatever you wanna call it. Project Epoch is a private server that was supposed to be releasing last Saturday, but it failed. The launch was a failure. What is Project Epoch? Project Epoch is a private server, a European private server that was supposed to be a Classic Plus experience. They were going to use some of the concepts, some of the mechanics of the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. Many people were hyped for this version of World of Warcraft. Season of Discovery was pretty much a failure, for me at least. I never liked how they constantly made us play the endgame, where they put these arbitrary limits on how high you could level. One of the things that I dislike the most about World of Warcraft is playing the endgame PvE content, which is just a fucking waiting simulator. You're just waiting on your main city, waiting for the next raid, I do like doing dungeons, but raiding is fucking cancer. So for me, Season of Discovery was a failure. I never liked raiding. I only care about World of Warcraft for the PvP, maybe doing dungeons, but that's it. And Season of Discovery was completely imbalanced in the terms of PvP. So I was willing to give this new private server a chance. Me and my girlfriend were going to play it. We were very hyped, as many people were. And the launch was a complete unmitigated disaster. The developers reported that 100,000 characters were made for the server. Around 50k members were on the Discord. So it was a shit ton of people that wanted to play this server. The hype for this server was real. This server was supposed to implement a bunch of custom content. For me, the best thing this server was going to do was going to be that they were going to make it so you don't need to PvE to get geared for PvP. So you will get your gear for PvP doing PvP. That was the main reason I was even willing to try the server, because they were willing to separate PvP and PvE. There were some concerns about the best in slot, weapons, trinkets, if they were going to still come from PvE, but nonetheless, there was a will from these developers to try to fix the stupid thing that is, you have to PvE in order to be good in PvP. That kind of garbage. What is really funny about this is they were going to launch this game with only one server, only one run. Only a few days ago, they announced that they were opening a new run, a PvP run. Many people were dissatisfied with that decision. I was one of those people, because I thought opening an exclusive PvP server was going to force me to play on the PvP server, since I care mostly about PvP. But real PvP, not the ganking horrible abuse that these psychopaths that like to play this type of PvP servers name or call PvP, which is all ganking, high levels ganking you all the time. That's not PvP, that's just abuse. And if you enjoy that, you have a mental disorder. Now, people didn't like this decision because they thought they were going to divide the population, and that's a fair concern. But back then, we didn't know that their servers were this shit, or more like their core, the core they're using, the emulator. Due to the backlash about opening a new server, they immediately started censoring comments and reactions. Of all the things, they started censoring reactions. So you can react to anything on their Discord unless a developer, a moderator, reacted first. That's very soft. Like I said, apparently the core they are using is one that only allows like 2k people max connected at the same time. I don't know if this is true or not, but it looks like it is. The results show that barely 2k people can be connected simultaneously. So I bet it's true. And I just don't understand how you launch a server, you know there is a ton of hype, the hype is real, and you think, yes, let's open our server with a core that can just handle 2k people max. But our demand is like, 50k people, more or less. I don't know if those numbers are correct or not, but I'm basing those numbers on the Discord member amount, which is 50k or so. I only got in once, and I could only play like 15 minutes or so. maybe 20. If you can even call that playing. There was a ton of lag. You could barely do anything. Every action took like 1 minute to occur in the game. The delay of every action was huge. People could barely move. It was basically a total shit show. I couldn't even get to level 2. Some people are even reporting to me that the only pet that works for Hunter is the hyena, and that all the other pets don't even work. Those are very concerning accusations. I didn't experience any of that because I couldn't even get to tame a pet. I was playing a hunter, but it doesn't even sound impossible because I no longer have trust in these developers, in this whole project. Now, there were some people that were lucky and those got to play a lot because the developers at first didn't even put a level cap, and when they did, they capped the level to level 10, so you couldn't level further than level 10. People complain about this because it's obviously unfair that while you're sitting on a queue, there are like 2k people or so getting ahead of you. Then they upped this level cap to level 15, and well, so these quote-unquote lucky players kept playing and they amassed a ton of gold. Now the developers refused to accept this and they started to gaslight their community, saying no, not many people got tons of gold. In fact, you're thinking about this mythical player that has played all the launch and already has amassed this huge quantity of gold and it's getting really ahead of you. You're imagining things. This is more or less what the lead developer said, and they said they were going to remove the gold from those characters because how is possible that these people got this amount of gold? Well, it's pretty easy. In World of Warcraft, if you don't know already, when you reach the cap of the levels, all the quests you do no longer give you experience. So to compensate for that, they give you more money. So that's how these people were able to get these amounts of gold. Now, I have some screenshots that disprove what these developers were saying, what the lead developer said, that it was at best 30 gold, which is already a lot of gold. 30 gold at level 15, it's already a lot. So these screenshots show that there were people already having 55 gold and 86 gold. So they are lying. I don't know if these screenshots are real or not, but I bet they are real. I don't trust these developers anymore. Now, somehow some streamers or content creators were able to even play the server. I don't know, this whole thing about only certain people can get in, and it's weird. I know it's about their core, their servers or whatever, but it also feels like very suspicious that some people get to play, get to the cap of the level, which is 15, get ton of gold. I don't know, some streamers get to play. It doesn't sound really that credible, but let's continue. They refuse to reset the fucking servers. That's another red flag. Like, it's clear this launch was an unmitigated disaster. It's clear that the circumstances that are happening right now are unfair for most of the people because most people can't even play. So it's unfair for them. Why are you refusing to reset the servers? The excuse is that will make it so a ton of people are reunited in a small area again, and that could crash the fucking servers again. I don't think that's a valid excuse. I think what can be done about that is, if your server can't handle the load of many people in one single area, you should open the server like for 2k people. You should reset everything first of all, then reopen the servers when they are stable and let people start all over again. And if your server is crashing because of the amount of people being on a small area, then you have the option to limit the amount of characters that can be on at the same time, just for like a day, so people get to once again redistribute themselves around the fucking world. That way you make it more fair for everybody. So when this disaster happened, what they were doing is, they already were doing this when they announced the opening of the PvP realm. They were going full damage control. They completely closed Discord. right now you can already type again on the Discord, but when they announced, like I said, when they announced the PvP server, they removed the ability to make reactions. They started to give like a 10-minute cooldown or half an hour cooldown to writing messages on the general chat. And when this disaster happened on Saturday, they simply started to increase the cooldown. Your ability to write messages on the Discord was only about a message per hour. Then they increased that to 2 hours. Then I think they increased that even further to 7 hours or so, until they finally caved in, they gave up and said, you know what, nobody's going to be able to write anymore. And they completely closed the Discord. Only a few minutes, an hour ago, they opened the Discord again, but once again you have a 2 hours cooldown per message. They don't want you to talk about any of this. I feel like they are being dishonest. I don't feel any confidence in them. Some of the moderators started to act rude to the people already. I'm going to post some screenshots of that so you can read yourselves how this moderator started to act towards people. They also tried to remove the queue. Their queue system didn't even work. They remade it and I still believe it didn't even work. And they tried to implement a round robin queue system, like everybody was hating on that idea. It's a fail. People are calling this this server Epoch FAIL, Project eFlop, Project EPU, Project ShamePoke, and they are even calling it Classic minus the ability to even log in. I mean, people are memeing hard on this fail launch, and the developers are not going to be able to stop this. You are not going to be able to stop this. It's going to keep going further. Their last announcement basically was that the realms are not going to even be ready for a few days. I'm going to be honest, I don't think these guys are ready. Some people are even saying that they even coded with the help of AI, so maybe that's why this doesn't even work. Like I said, the people said that the core they are using is not great for handling a lot of players. There are many red flags with this launch. I mean, nobody expected this because we thought, I mean, at least the developers gave us the impression that they were competent. Nobody suspected this was going to happen. So that's what we got. I am going to read you a comment that somebody left on their Discord a few days ago. It is pretty funny. It says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have big private server incompetence on display tonight. Epoch wow. The next gen Classic Plus killer. We totally stress tested this bro server. Just launched. And it's a total fucking disaster. You got 2K players actually in the game. 10,000 in the queue staring at a pixelated loading bar while they weep. Discord mods deleting feedback faster than the login server crashes. Streamers pretending it's playable while their chat roasts them. People quitting their jobs, skipping weddings, dodging funerals. For this, they promised a smooth launch day experience, and what we got was a DDoS simulator with a side of queue gatekeeping. You had better luck getting into Club Penguin on dial-up in 2008. Imagine hyping this for months, only to be hard-capped at 2K players like it's a Minecraft server running on a Raspberry Pi from 2013. Project Epoch, more like Project Error 404, server not found. Big W to everyone who said, I'll wait a week before trying. You were right. Big L to the rest of us who sat in queue so long we could have leveled to 60 in classic retail. Big private server moment. Never forget. This post is really funny. And there was another one about a queue simulator, but they immediately fucking deleted it. I hope somebody else posted it again. because it was super funny. And that's about it. That's what we got. A queue simulator, ladies and gentlemen. This is Project Epoch Fail, Project eFlop, Project ePoo, Project Chainpoke, and Classic Minus, your ability to even play the game.